Hello, and you are currently listening to WRUW FM 91.1 Cleveland, broadcasting from the campus of Case Western Reserve University. I'm your host, Matt Hook. Today you're listening to A Different Drum, where the more you love music, the more music you love. Today I am joined by special guest Warren Burnett. Thank you so much for coming on today.
I'm proud to be here, man.
So, this is actually the third time I've had Warren on the show. He's a pretty frequent flyer here. Our last conversation was about his album Reasons, released in July of last year. This interview is going to be focused on his latest record, Dark Brook Willow Creek, released in December of last year. This album features Warren greatly expanding on the sound of his previous albums. He starts incorporating new instruments like the mandolin and the 12-string guitar into his solo guitar, Americana style. And he also brings in Santa Fe musician Said Do Now on keyboard and lead guitar. So, again, thank you so much for joining me. Now, to introduce you to his music, I wanted to play you the title track of the album, Willow Creek. All right, that song you just heard was Warren Burnett, Willow Creek. Today I'm joined by Warren via Skype from his home in Spencer, Massachusetts. So that song is very unusual for you, Warren. It's as a solo mandolin piece. Can you give me the backstory behind that?
Yes, I was exploring a lot, and I was trying to come up with different things over the summertime. And I says, well, I haven't played my mandolin in a long time. And I recently bought a Black Star Mini for when I go play out in the forest and when I go jam my guitar out by the parks around here and stuff. And I says, I got a little pickup for that mandolin. So I put a pickup on the mandolin and I started taking it out to the out with me to the lakes and the forests and all that stuff and just practicing with it. So I kind of wanted to give when I did this new album, I kind of want to give a different feel to it, a little bit more variety to it than just guitar playing. So that's when I started just fiddling around with it, and that's when that song Willow Creek came along. And also my song When I'm With You. I did both those on mandolin. So that's kind of my reasoning behind the mandolin. Plus, I always love folk music. So folk music was, it was always so melodic and so pretty to me that I wanted to give it a shot with the mandolin.
Mm.
I have a few other songs from my older albums. Crow and Crow Flies. There are both mandolin songs as well.
Oh. So it's really just that Black Star amp that made you just pick up the mandolin again, it sounds like.
I actually recorded that through that song.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I put new strings on it, and I says, well, let's see how it sounds now with new strings and the new pickup on it. And yeah, people dig it, and it's something different. People will see. I did a open house for my shop, and they loved it. They're absolutely like amazed that some guy brought a mandolin in here. Oh my goodness, never saw something like that before. So they really dug the songs, and I think it gives more texture to my music and my performances when I go on stage and stuff.
Yeah, definitely is a nice change of pace, that acoustic guitar stuff. So I was wondering, you talked about a lot of times you practice in nature. Is that where you do most of your songwriting?
I do most of my songwriting at home. I kind of weave and create a home. I'm watching TV or, sometimes in the summertime or spring, I'll sit outside my front of my place right here, and I'll sit in a chair and I'll just create. I'll just practice, think of something, and I'll just start making a song. And it's kind of my surroundings, whatever I'm thinking about, the kind of week I've had, or just a time in life that you look and you know what you're feeling. You want to express it. And truthfully, honestly, I think guitar is a way for me to dream out loud. Truthfully, honestly, it speaks my mind for me, and it shows everybody else how I'm feeling through my guitar.
Guitar is like it's a reflection of your kind of emotions, I guess.
Exactly. Exactly.
I mean, that's like the wonderful part about music that lets you kind of express yourself in ways that words just can't do.
Exactly. The guitar speaks for me. That's what it does for me. And people have said that to me too many times on my on posts or in public when I play. It says you don't need words. That guitar just speaks for you. You can hear it speaking to you because that's the way I play. And I don't play very much standard tuning, as I mentioned before in other interviews. I use a little alternate tuning, so everything I play is kind of new to the ear. People don't expect to hear that. They expect to hear like on cover songs and stuff, it's just regular standard tuning, or maybe it'd be like a drop D tuning. But when I'm using just totally different tunings on everything, even the mandolin. That song right there was a alternate tuning.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
that's definitely experimental, going with alternate mandolin tunings.
Yeah, that's capo too. Imagine that.
Huh? I didn't even know they made mandolin capos.
Regular capo, regular guitar capo. That's all you need. That's all you need.
So when you're playing outside, do you ever have people like come up to you and talk to you about your music?
Sometimes. It's how I met my girlfriend.
Wait, actually?
Yeah, it's how I met my girlfriend. She lives right across the way from me, and she said she heard me playing for many years before she had the courage to come up to me. And one day I was playing my guitar outside, and she just walked up to me and started talking to me, and I've been together now for 5.5 years.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, the guitar was calling her.
That music just brings people together in an incredible way sometimes.
Well, like I said, guitar gives a lot of distance too, so a lot of people can hear it, even people down the road. So I try to attract anyone that's interested, and when I go to the parks and stuff, they really like it and they enjoy it, and I see people just laying down reading books or fishing, and they seem to enjoy it. And that's what we need to do. Just go out there and play. Don't be afraid, and see who enjoys it.
It's funny because so many people say like, "Oh, I started guitar to try to find a way to pick up girls," but it actually worked for you.
Yeah, it did many times for me, but this one was a keeper. So my buddy always said to me, he says, "Listen, man, you have to get out of the house. A girl is just gonna walk down the road over here and come to your doorstep." Well, it did. She just walked down the road and came to my doorstep. I mean, I think he was kind of wrong on that point. But yeah, music is very powerful, and it really when I play, it really people I think really connect to what I'm playing, and the melodic and my style is very it's unique. So I get a lot of comments. I get a lot of people that say on Facebook that that they love it, they enjoy it, and it's very peaceful and relaxing, and even my more heavier songs.
So I was wondering, have you had any other very memorable moments when you're just like playing in a park somewhere and someone just comes up to you to talk to you about music?
Yes, I was playing my song. I was actually rehearsing the song "Fading Island" at Howell Park, and I was just playing to the water. I was staring right at the water. I had my little mini Black Star amp out there, and I was just playing. And as I was playing, I wasn't even noticing the people right behind me. There was actually people behind me, and I didn't notice they were there until the dog came up and licked my face. I could not believe it. I was like, a dog comes right up to me. I'm playing my guitar, licks my face, and then people right behind me. I'm like, oh my goodness! It was a woman and her 3 children, and they absolutely loved it, enjoyed it, and their kids just sat there and just wanted to hear more. So I kept going for them. So it was a very memorable moment for me. Plus, when I go to Rutland State Park, I go play on a bench out there while my girlfriend goes swimming or walks the park and stuff like that. And I've seen people that were enjoying on kayaks that would row right up to shore and watch me. And I saw an older couple that took lounge chairs out. And they sat right by the river and they were watching me. So that was a very joyful moment because I knew they were enjoying the music themselves.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing when people just enjoy what you've been doing. So,
Well, it's yep.
so next I wanted to play another one of your songs off Dark Brook Willow Creek. This one is called Friends.
Hell yeah, man.
All right, so that song you just heard was Friends by Warren Burnett, his latest album, Dark Brook Willow Creek. Today I am joined by Warren himself. So I noticed that song appears to be a live recording as it ends with that audience clapping and starts with that audience banter. Can you talk a little bit about that track?
Yes, it was. It was actually during a gathering at my house. We a bunch of friends came over that day, and it was actually a packed house here. And I just sometimes I go off in my little studio over there, and I'll just pick my guitar up and I'll just play just for the fun of it, because everybody's having a good time. So a little live music brings the party together. So I started playing that song, and then my friend Matt, he came in, and he was actually humming in the back, and he's doing a little whistling, and then a couple other buddies came in and are watching me, and it was very cool because I had the harmonica right there. I was very big in the harmonica back when I made that song too. That song's actually, I'm not gonna lie to you, 7 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, it's an old song, and I didn't want to give it up, so I recorded it, and then I started going through it and stuff, and listened to it and remastering it and stuff. And the clapping ends, actually, my friends, I told them to come in there and help me with it. I says, I want to end this song with a great little, like a clap scene at the very end. So a couple of buddies came over before I released the album. I said, hey, come in here and clap at the end to make the song more worth it.
Oh.
So you can actually, and that's what they did. So I recorded that.
So like the intro and like the song itself is from 7 years ago, but the clapping.
The very clapping at the very end is my friends came in and did that a little while ago for me. This guy wanted to end the song with a better note than just ending it. So they came in and they clapped for me.
I mean, that was a great choice. It fits the song so perfectly.
Exactly why I did it. Exactly why I did it, because I really wanted this album to be memorable for people. Well, that's a live song. That's something that's stuck in time. They can never get back. And I wanted to make it more live sounding. So that's why I did that. So people can actually feel like they're right there. Another band did that. Kings of Leon did that on one of their tracks. And I heard their song. And at the very end, everybody's clapping at the end and stuff. I'm like, that's kind of cool. So I just wanted to add that in right there. The listener hears it, they go, "Oh my goodness, that was an awesome little time right there." So
yeah,
that's exactly why I did that.
And it
so
definitely,
people, when they hear it,
and it definitely adds that sort of intimacy to it too, where you feel like you're in, your living room listening to you play that song with just a couple, 20, 30 people.
Exactly. That's exactly the reason why I did that. So people can enjoy that and go, "Wow, that was a cool little tune," harmonica, just on a condenser mic. That's all I did, a condenser mic and a bare guitar. That's all I did. And that was a cool little tune. And, glad people enjoyed it, because I really had fun making that little tune. It was, like I said, 7 years ago. It was just a little moment in time.
So now I want to talk a little bit, because on some of these tracks you feature said now Santa Fe musician on like keyboard and lead guitar. How did that collaboration happen?
Well, I came up with a song called Night Trails, and it was a very heavy 12-string song. And Sid always said to me, he says, "Hey man, if you ever want to collaborate in something, I'd be more happy to." And I kind of wanted a little more of a more umph to the song, and I know how his style is, because Sid's style is like, Ozzy Osbourne, kind of Led Zeppelin-ish, almost. Some of his style is like Pink Floyd, and I kind of wanted his aspect on it. I wanted him to, be part of a song I did. So I said, "Hey man, I got the song Night Trails, and you want to give it a shot?" And he says, "Yeah, bring it on over." And then he added his keyboard in the back and his lead acoustic on the back and all that. And I think it came out pretty well for the song itself. And that 12 string is just it's a concert in itself, that 12 string. So I think it really was a good collaboration. And plus, I've known Sid for so many years, and he's a really good buddy of mine. And he's trying so hard to get his music out there, and he's constantly doing collaborations with Anthony Albanese and Joe Verdi and all that. And I just wanted him to come over on the Dark Brook side and do a little song for me. And me and him, I'm proud to have him on the album.
So how did you meet him to begin with?
I met Sid through through actually a Facebook group. It was called Strut Your Stuff. It was a Facebook group, and I liked his music. He had a song on there, Angry Child. And I first heard it, I was like, wow, that's awesome. I mean, it really sounded like some Black Sabbath, really beautiful music. And so he liked my comment and all that, and he friend requested me. And all of a sudden we started talking on Messenger. And next thing you know, I mean, he's sharing his music. I'm sharing my music to him. And we just started, becoming good friends. And then we were on, KCG radio and all that. He was like, hey, come on over here and all that. And actually, that's why I met all you guys.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I forgot that I originally met you from that KCEG stuff.
That's right. That's how I met all you guys on there. And after that, me and him just started becoming more friends. He actually did an interview with me on that station, too. Sid actually interviewed me himself because Mike had him do the interviews for a while on that station. So it was even more of a joy to have be interviewed by him. So now me and him just talking on the phone, and like I said, he's just he's been a good friend to me, and I'm really proud to have him as a friend. Especially somebody that far away, because I live in Massachusetts and he lives in New Mexico, so it's that's quite of a distance there.
That's true
for a friendship. So
I guess that's just.
I'm just glad to have him.
I guess that's just the power of the internet, where you can just, meet someone on Facebook, become friends with them when they live on like the opposite side of the country.
Oh, it's I'm telling you, it's magic. It's extremely magic. If it wasn't for this, I mean, nobody would really know much if you didn't play out as a musician or open mics or anything. Nobody would know anything about your music at all if it wasn't for the internet. I mean, the internet is so powerful that, I made friends with a guy in China last week.
That's incredible.
And he says, I love your music. He says, I'm a fan of yours. He says, I've been playing it in my shop. In my, I guess he's got an Asian cuisine shop out there or something. I don't know what it is. And I'm like, really? He says, I love. We play it at a restaurant all the time. And I'm like, that's cool, man. And then all of a sudden, I see a video of him. Actually, a video of him in China, handing out menus for his restaurant to the people in China as I'm walking by. And I'm looking at the background. I'm like, oh my God, that's China right now. He just posted that 5 minutes ago, and he's in China handing menus out. Oh my God. That's how powerful, Facebook and everything else is. I mean, I'm really glad we have all this right now. YouTube is a major thing too to have, because everybody sees it's the biggest tool any musician can have out there, because YouTube is everything. So we definitely live in a new age world where people can definitely take the music and just spread it around out farther than their reach than they could do on their own.
Wow, that's incredible. I'm still in awe, though, that like somehow someone from China just discovered your music and just started playing it in a restaurant.
Yeah, in the restaurant. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, wow. In China, in the restaurant, they're playing my music. It's like, I mean, I've been in some Chinese restaurant before. I mean, I hear what they play, and I'm like, oh boy. But they're playing my stuff, so it's like, oh, that's a pretty proud moment to spread that far out. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I actually get a lot of folks from Uganda too.
Oh.
There was actually a school out near Uganda that this guy actually he Skyped me. He actually Skyped me. It's like we're Skyping now, and he says, "Can you play a few songs for my students?" And I says, "Okay. I mean, I'll play a few songs." So I played "Pride" and "Family" and a few other ones. And the students were actually watching me through Skype at a classroom. Imagine that, from
Oh my
Uganda.
God.
It was called a Christian Academy Holy State School or something like that. I don't know what it was called, but it was on that kind of lines. Yeah, I guess they teach guitar there and teach the students fingerstyle picking and flat picking and other instruments like the keyboard and bass and all that.
So that's so you did a Skype guitar lesson for students in Uganda.
Exactly.
Wow. So so he just found your music through Facebook or YouTube?
He found my music through Facebook. I guess he belonged to another Facebook group on just I guess I posted at one place, and I think it was music of all kinds, I want to say, and he found me there, and he just loved my music. He saw a live video of me playing, and he really liked that, and he heard my new song. I used to put a new song called Dreamcatcher, and he really loved that song too, which was it was really powerful to him, and it really moved him. So he really reached out to me, and so is this other guy from China too. Same thing. He found my music online. He found it on a Facebook group. So these Facebook groups are actually pretty powerful than your friends list, your timeline. Truthfully, honestly, because some people they're on your timeline ain't into it, because they're not musicians. Some people just pass, but the musicians always look at it. But look, you post to a Facebook group that has a lot, like 2.5 thousand or what have you, people see it, So that's the best way to promote. For me, I think it's the best way to promote. Is go through a Facebook group.
I mean, the bigger problem you think of a Facebook friends list is it's kind of it's a closed loop in a way, because your posts are only going to go to your friends. Well, if a Facebook group, they can go to whoever.
You can make it public too. You can change that. You do a post, you can actually make it public. So, and make sure you put add to Facebook. Don't just put the Facebook, but add to Facebook. Because Facebook has gone through, I don't know if you've seen, but Facebook has gone through changes where they don't want you to go to YouTube or SoundCloud. So you have to actually add it to Facebook so people can actually see it.
Gotcha. But granted, a public post on your personal timeline probably won't go to a Chinese restaurateur or a Ugandan music teacher. Like a post on a Facebook group. So how did it feel when like both those guys just told you, hey, we love your music and wanted to get in touch with you? That must have just been an incredible feeling.
Proud. Very proud. That's why I was very proud. I mean, if I have that kind of reach and they enjoy my music, I was very proud. Well, that's exactly why I do this. I mean, I want to make a stamp in the music industry. I want people to know me. Just on Facebook, I want people to know me around the area. I want people to, know me through New England. I want people to know my music and love it, like these other artists, that are out there, I'm not looking for the big stage, but I'm looking for venues and go play out so people can enjoy music. I'm looking for, Mansfield or whatever, the big, concert stages, the stadiums, just beautiful venues. And that's what I'm looking for, people to really enjoy it, buy the music, kick back, listen. And that's what it's all about. There's no better enjoyment than that.
So, again, if you're just tuning in, we are currently having an interview with acoustic guitarist Warren Burnett. Now, let's say some of our listeners want to listen to some of your music. What's a good way to find it?
Truthfully, honestly, the best way you can find it is Google me. Just Google Warren Burnett Music. You can find everything on Google. Google actually has given me my own site. If it says musical artist right on there. If you go right on, the follow button right there. And I'm on iHeartRadio and Spotify and iTunes and SoundCloud, Reverb Nation,
Apple Music.
pretty much anything. Yeah, Apple Music, Juno.com, Deezer.com. I'm on pretty much everything. You can buy all my albums on Amazon.com. I mean, all physical CDs are all there. So, I mean, you can find music anywhere. And the biggest thing is YouTube. You can find me right on YouTube. You just put Warren Burnett. That's all you need to put. Just my name, Warren Burnett. And they have a whole entire YouTube station just for me.
I saw
right
that,
there.
The Warren Burnett Topic channel.
Yep. Whole entire station just for me. And all 7 albums are sitting right there, back to back. I mean, you can find me anywhere. So, which is really, really, really nice right now.
All right. So next, I wanted to play the song you mentioned earlier. That was a collaboration between you and Sed. This one's called Night Trails. All right, that song you just heard was Night Trails by Warren Burnett, featuring Said Do Now. That was off Warren's latest album, Dark Brook Willow Creek. Warren is currently joining me today via Skype. So, when we talked before the interview, you said this album was a journey album. Can you expand on that?
Yes, this album's about it's about friends basically going out and going camping and going on the lake, boating and fishing and just having a great time. This is actually an album kind of dedicated to my days back. I had a campsite in Auburn. We had a nice, beautiful, huge campsite with a big campfire. And you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. I heard a buzz on my phone. Sorry. And we had a beautiful campfire right there. And there was actually an island out right in the middle of the lake right there. And I had a boat, I had a four-wheel and all that time. And we actually just used to all get together and row to the island and go camping on the island and go swimming up the island. And this, my camping had so many trails that I actually went around the whole entire lake, these trails. So, and this place had 8 other campsites in the place, and some are actually secret campsites. And we had a blast during those summers out there. And all these songs on there were kind of like, taking the back roads there, or rowing to the fading island because the island's actually it's a man-made island, is actually starting to sink into the lake. Over the years, it's been sinking down the lake, it's just losing its dirt and stuff. Or night trails, night walking through the trails, or the fireflies. See the fireflies when you're walking. And other songs like Reflections, reflecting on times, or Campfire Moon. These are all songs that were kind of dedicated to those good times that I had, like the song Friends. My friends all around listening, play the guitar, clapping for me. Just good times. That's what this was. And it was all the journeys that I have with my friends that I wanted to incorporate into this album. And for my love of the woods, Willow Creek, that's why I kind of named it that, because it was a creek actually by the lake. If you went down the path, there was another creek right there too. So that's why I call it a journey album, because it's just because of those times that I had my 20s and all that, my friends, and just remembering the old good times I had, basically.
Wow. So it's really just capturing a specific moment in your life through music.
Exactly. Yeah. That's why I do it. That's why I made that album. I mean, it really, there's other songs I actually did with my other collaboration with Jeff Adams on this album too. He actually has 4 songs. Well, he has 4 songs on this album that we did. Did collaboration with him, and some of his songs kind of blended into the album itself.
Ooh.
So, like Going Home and Fireflies. Into the Light was actually, I wrote that one, but he actually did lead work on that one. Reflections, Jeff Adams wrote that one. So it was kind of, he made a good blend into the mix of this album. I know you talk about Sid Dudnow with the Night Trails and all that. He made a good blend on that one too. But Jeff, I mean, as you hear the album, Jeff was a very good fingerstyle artist. He loved fingerstyle. He was a flat pick artist. He loved fingerstyling, so he actually brought a lot to the table with his fingerstyle work on a lot of his songs. Like Going Home, that was a very short song, and he did a lot of like nice, short, subtle, like almost like a William Ackerman feel, to be honestly, to the music. Actually, that's what he actually sounded like to me when I played with him. and it really, because most of my guitar playing is actually flat pick. I usually do a lot of flat pick work because I have a lot of like higher tone, um, more bassier tones in my music. But for fingerstyle, that actually brought different textures to the album as I listened to it, and so it's actually the album's kind of like a roller coaster. Goes up and down. With many emotions.
You're right. I mean, you got those mandolin songs. You have some of Jeff's more, as you were saying, William Ackerman fingerpick songs. Got Sid Do Now
Exactly.
bring that harder edge blues rock to it. It's definitely a very multifaceted kind of release.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what I wanted the album to be because my last release, Reasons, was just all me. It had that kind of texture, but it didn't have like I think Willow Creek was a different animal compared to the Reasons, just because of the other collaborations and the different styles in the album. And truthfully, honestly, I wasn't planning on making another album. It was actually the second release for 2017 for me. But like I said, I met Jeff over the summer, and me and him just started clicking and stuff, and started meeting at the Hodges Village Dam and stuff, and we were a good match at the time, and I'm glad that me and him collaborated on some material, and I really think it brought a lot to the table for this album, for the listener to hear different styles. So I do a lot of lead work. I mean, I did a lot of lead work. My first albums and stuff. My friend Matt Norton, he did a lot of stuff on Begins and Drift, and I did a lot of lead work on his song called Drift itself.
Hmm.
So I mean, doing lead work with Jeff was, it was a pleasure to do that.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like a lot of fun. Are you planning to do something similar for your next album where you bring in all these different people and instruments?
Right now, I'm writing another album right now as we speak. I actually just the first one I just put out was called Dreamcatcher. I just put that out a little bit ago. You can find on YouTube or Reverb Nation, what have you. And I just wrote a couple more songs. And as I go, I'm just kind of writing them. I would say I would have another album coming out probably August or something like that. As I kind of write, I record, I explore. Other people coming in, I might collaborate with Sid Do Now again, maybe a couple songs. Jeff, I can't say I'm going to do anything more with Jeff. Me and Jeff had a little fallout, but that's what happens with sometimes musicians that different styles, and he has some different issues. So, but I'm just gonna try to see how it goes. Right now, I'm concentrating on actually practicing for shows right now for the spring coming up and summer. So I love playing out for shows and other venues around the area. The open mics. Open mics are one of my favorite, and a few other places around here that do artist showcases that I want to go for. So plan on seeing a lot of more shows, and as I go, you'll just see more music from me. I love writing; it's my passion, and that's what I do.
Are you thinking again? Are you ever? Would you ever think of doing maybe like a regional tour?
If I, I mean, if I could, I would. I might. I mean, I work a 40-hour job, so I mean, I work my job. Trying to make the time for that. All I have was the weekends to myself. So I would expand out to like New Hampshire and Boston, for maybe in the evenings or something, if I could,
Mm-hmm.
you know. I'll see how that goes as time goes on. But I always want to expand, play clubs, different places. I mean, there's definitely better venues up in Boston, of course, or maybe go out to Maine or something, Old Orchard Beach area.
New Hampshire.
But yeah, New Hampshire.
Because
New
you're in
Hampshire. I
like
would
the
love
Worcester area, right?
Worcester. Yeah,
Worcester.
Worcester
Yeah.
area. Yeah. Welcome to Worcester.
I'm probably never going to
Yeah.
be able to pronounce those New England town names.
Yeah, Worcester, Spencer. Plus we all got that Boston accent. You know you're here when people. I had a guy from a different state, and I said car. He says, "Oh, I love that Boston accent around here. I know I'm in Massachusetts when I hear that."
You said your new album's coming out in August?
Yeah, I'm working on it right now. So far, I have about 5 songs written for it. Yeah, I'm going to try to do something a little different with this. I'm not quite sure it's going to be called yet, but I want to do like a fingerstyle album, like a half and half.
Mm-hmm.
Fingerstyle album, and I wanted to do some blues. I actually want to switch it up to electric. I wanted to stop the acoustic for a little bit and start switching up to electric and do a lot of slide blues. That's what I kind of want to do. And I watch my friend on YouTube all the time, Justin Johnson, and he's amazing blues player. He slide everything. And I actually watch a lot of movies around here. You ever seen the movie Cadillac Records? It actually shows how Muddy Waters came about, and Little Waters, and The Wolf. All those guys.
Howlin' Wolf.
And
I'm going to have to watch
yeah.
that. I used to really be into all those classic, like, blues musicians. Oh,
This is actually a newer movie. To be honest, Cadillac Records is actually a newer movie. It's got Cedric the Entertainer in it.
Oh,
and all that. It's
Adrian Brody. And
this
movie's got some big guys. Oh yeah, you're right. I see Cedric in this. Most Def is in here. My God, I'm gonna have to check this out.
Yeah, I mean it's really a great movie. I mean it shows how, like I said, Muddy Water gets together and all that. How it started out, and I mean I got a lot of movies like that. Where you got movies like Crossroads, or Robert Johnson, and all that. And, it really. I mean, I got to expand somehow. So I watch movies like that and dream about that. And I always like blues guitar, and I always love playing it. And like I said, I kind of want to do a fingerstyle album and a blues album. Switch up to electric guitar and, mix and match it up a little bit for my listeners.
Yeah, just change your. It's always nice to kind of change your sound. Make sure you never really get too set in your ways.
Exactly. Plus new keyboards and other little gadgets around here I got now really will bring it up.
I feel like audiences really appreciate that kind of stylistic diversity because it always proves that you're not just phoning it in.
Exactly. If I can keep it fresh all the time, believe me, that's what they want to hear. So that's what I try to do.
So, just one last quick question before we head out. How are you so productive? Because you released 2 albums last year, and it sounds like you're already pretty far into writing for your album this year. And considering the fact that you have, like, a full-time day job, that's really impressive.
Well, lucky for me, I have 3 nights a week to myself. So I got 3 nights a week to myself, and what I do, truthfully, honestly, I put a movie on. I'm the kind of guy that sits back and watches a movie. I have my guitar with me all the time, right next to the couch, and I constantly play. I constantly play and play and play, and I'll just fiddle with it. Alternate tunings. I have a whole entire notebook full of alternate tunings, and I'll pick one and try to make something. I work on a song for a week. I'll record it, and then I'll fine tune it, tweak it, and see what I can do with it. And music is my passion. I mean, I play all the time. I play every day for at least half an hour to an hour. Every single day. When I come home from a hard day's work, eating supper, I'll sit here while eating supper and I'll play my guitar while I'm watching TV or something like that. And then I'll just go to my studio, and then after I got a great song down, and go record it and then fine tune it and tweak it. So that's how I'm kind of coming up with it. Because I mean, I'm addicted to music. I mean, and plus acoustic guitar is such an easy instrument to have because acoustic guitar, it's a concert in itself. I mean, when you play acoustic guitar, I mean, you're the concert. So it really, that's why I love playing out so much because you can do so much with it. You can tap it, you can slap it, you can bend the strings, you can make all kinds of noise with acoustic guitar, and it carries. And it carries out. You need no amplifier whatsoever.
That's true. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, if you want to listen to some of Warren Burnett's music, Google Warren Burnett Music. He has his own website. His music's available on Amazon, Apple Music, Spotify, all the major online retailers and streaming sites. Thank you so much for joining me today, Warren. Hope to have you back on the show again soon.
Thank you very much. I just want to, before I go, I just want to thank my label, Phoenix Records, and Manuel Duchess. He actually helped me do a lot of that stuff on the internet and get me out there. I've been with the Manuel Duchess for a couple of years now. And I just want to thank Phoenix Records and all that for helping me out.